Perubahan iklim mengakibatkan terjadinya bencana besar di beberapa negara di dunia. Kebakaran besar, panas ekstrim, hingga banjir bandang terjadi. Dibutuhkan upaya untuk mengatasi hal tersebut. Koresponden Rully Kurniawan akan membahas bagaimana upaya mengurangi dampak perubahan iklim ini bersama dengan utusan khusus Presiden Amerika Serikat untuk iklim, United States Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry.
Permasalahan lingkungan dan dampak perubahan iklim menjadi semakin mengkhawatirkan. Dibutuhkan solusi global agar persoalan ini tidak semakin berat. Dan untuk itu saya akan membahasnya bersama United States Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, John Kerry.
Secretary Kerry, thank you for your time with CNN Indonesia today.
Very happy to be with you.
Beautiful island, Bali.
It's beautiful, thank you.
So Secretary Kerry, you've been in the G20 meetings, right, about climate. So how do you see the results in G20 talks?
Well, I think we've had good talks. The key will be the summary by the chair of what went on here. We're very hopeful that I think there was a strong message from the vast majority of the countries here that this moment is urgent and that we need to do everything in our power to implement Glasgow, and what we promised to do there must be delivered. And that means holding the Earth's temperature increase to 1.5 degrees and working together to be able to try to transition. Yes, there's no way any one country can solve this problem. We only do this as a community of nations.
But this is really interesting. Like we know, like nowadays, I mean, this year, catastrophic in so many parts of the world. You know, like in Australia, in most Asia, in times, like catastrophes. We cannot say that. So having the worst ecological disaster to date. So are we in the periods of irreversible climate disaster? So how do you see
We
that?
are if we don't do the things we know we must do.
Right.
We don't have to be. And disaster, some of it is already baked in to the greenhouse gas emissions that are in the atmosphere. But if we reduce them, if we will change our current patterns and produce energy in a clean way all around the world, we can win this fight. But countries, all of us, United States, China, Japan, and Indonesia, we all need to be part of the solution. And that requires us to begin to power our automobiles and power our homes, the lights, the heating, the cooling, all the things we do need to be done with clean energy. We have that available to us. Look at the sun, look at the wind. Indonesia's blessed to have the ability to have access to free energy. But we have to use it in a thoughtful way, build out our grids, and begin to deliver energy. You have 17,000 islands. We can deliver energy to Indonesia in a broad-based way. And most of your population lives in Java and other centralized communities. So we have a way of reaching that very quickly. And the key now is to, in the talks we're having with your ministers here now, we hope to lay out a plan which Indonesia will agree with. And President Jokowi has clearly made a commitment to do this, and we hope we can clarify it in the next days.
So how about the cooperation and relationship with the Indonesia and the U.S. You like to overcome those problems? You know, how do you see our cooperation next?
Well, there's great cooperation right now, and we've been working this morning. We had good meetings this morning talking about the goals of Indonesia with Minister Siti, and she was very helpful in defining the road ahead. And I'll be meeting with Minister Luhut this evening, talking about how we cooperate together to make the transition happen. We believe there are jobs to be created. We know this. In the U.S., the transition made wind turbine technician the fastest growing job in America. And the third fastest growing job was solar panel installer. So there are jobs here. There's all kinds of work for people who do technical work, people who design, people who build, people who build the materials that we will use to have the grid. This is an exciting future, not something to fear. And we have the ability to make this transition working together. We will help bring technology and finance to the table. But Indonesia needs to help bring clarity in the regulations and the ability to be able to move very rapidly through the decisions your government makes about the balance that it wants between the solar and the wind.
Yes.
And we have to move away from fossil fuel.
Right.
Unmitigated. Unmitigated means you're not reducing the emissions.
Right.
You must reduce emissions if you're going to use fossil fuel.
Yeah, that's the key point, right? So we're talking about the finance. You said before about the finance. In March this year, you said that rich countries can finally meet their pledge to provide 100 billion annually to help poor nations cope with the climate change beginning year 2022, and will definitely reach the amount in 2023. So how's the pledge going right now?
We're raising our budget. President Biden has quadrupled our budget. First he doubled it, then he doubled the doubling,
All right.
so that our commitment is now 11.4 billion towards the 100 billion. We're building that this year in the budget, and next year for the budget we will have the full amount that we promised,
Right.
and we will, I know, achieve the 100 billion. But we have the ability to be able to bring some very big investors to the table,
Right.
who are prepared to put trillions of dollars into new electricity, new power, new automobiles, and so forth. But we need countries that are prepared to work with us to help make that happen. And Indonesia has indicated it is clearly ready to do that. Your ministers are committed, I think, to make this transition. We are committed to bring the key players to the table,
Right.
and together we think we can find an agreement that will help Indonesia be able to make this transition in the right way.
Well, yeah, it's really big deals,
Yeah.
and hopefully that the result G20 climate talks ini will be, it's easy to implement in other countries, right? So
Sure.
what you said before is going to be into reality, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is going to create a new reality.
Yes.
But everybody should take note, as I think they are,
I believe they are.
of the damages that are being done all around the world. Rapid melting of the Arctic, rapid
Yes.
melting of the
Yes.
Antarctic, fires breaking out where they didn't before,
Floods everywhere.
huge forests
Yes.
being destroyed, major flooding in some places, and major drought,
Yes.
and heat and extreme
Yes.
of everything.
Yes.
All of these extremes are now being lived by people all around the world. And it's coming from human activity, which we can control. So if we will make smart decisions, reduce the pollution. Look at Jakarta. Jakarta is now one of the dirtiest, most polluted
cities in the world. Yeah.
air quality cities in the world. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's a dirty city, but polluted
Polluted,
in
yes.
terms of air quality. We lose 15 million people a year die because of air quality around the world.
Yeah.
5 million people a year die because of extreme heat.
Yeah.
So if we pull ourselves together and do what God gave us the ability to do, which is think,
Yes.
and use our ability to be able to reason and do reasonable things, we can win this battle. But we have to move faster. We have to honor greater urgency. And that's what Mother Nature is telling us all around the world.
Yes.
Hey guys, I'm upset.
Yeah.
You guys
Do
better
something.
get to work,
Yeah.
do something. And
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary
Thank you
Kerry.
so
Thank you
much.
very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Okay. Thank you.